do these industrial images. So this one is from the M series. It comes with its own certificate. So it's an M11. It comes with a starter book. Well, you can pretty much get this online just by going and searching for Hikmicro M series. The batteries actually in this one last for 6 hours. So really if you've got two charged batteries, you've got a 12-hour charge there. So it's a really good case. It's like a Pelly case, but not a Pelly case. It seems well made. It's kind of a harder thermoplastic than you would get on a Pelly. This is the the camera, the M11. Let's start off with storage. So it's got a micro SD card in here, and then we've got an output here. The lens is covered by this flap, which the most important part, obviously, we don't want to touch at all, is the sensor lens on any thermal device. So this actually is quite a tight fit in there, and this rubberized edge flips right back. And what we've got here in the center there is the IR sensor lens. On the left here is a light, so we can illuminate a panel or got dark spaces. On the right hand side here is the visual lens, and then we've got a laser, class 2 laser in the middle. So if we need to make sure of our center spot of where we're targeting. Trigger, so it's a trigger handle. So obviously press this once, it will capture an image, hold it, and it will capture a video until you press it again. Thermoplastic, rubberized housing around the screen and the handle. Lanyard, I always recommend wear your lanyard, because if you do drop it, at least you're going to be saved by the lanyard. Usual kind of NiCad cells. You get 2 with the instrument. Manual focus ring, so like an old SLR camera. When I'm using thermal images at manual focus, I tend to want to be about 6 feet away from what I'm looking at, and once I've focused it, I pretty much would change my body position to get in focus rather than keep messing about with the focus ring. I always want to be a regular distance away from things, really. 1.5 meters is my kind of choice. So on the front here we've got some manual buttons. So on the Pocket E we didn't have any manual buttons, it's all touchscreen. This has got a touchscreen as well. On off button here, so we press this for a couple of seconds. Hikmicro, it comes on. You can see it here, it click, it's kind of calibrating itself. The field of view, one thing I'll say about this, the field of view on this one took me by surprise, because its field of view is 19 by 14 degrees, so that's quite tight, and that means you've got to stand back from the target. It's got a 25 Hertz refresh rate, so that's the same as the Pocket E, so that's for your refresh on your video. The sensor size, we can pretty much see what the sensor, if you see a sensor like that size, you know it's going to be quite small. It's 192 by 144 pixels, so not very high resolution, but we've got that super IR function on here which can times that by 2, so it goes up to 384 by 288 pixels. This one, the Pocket E, went up to 350 degrees C. This one will go up to 550 degrees C. The ovens that I look at kind of go up to 260 maybe, so yeah, it's good. It goes down to -20. I've never actually looked at anything in the minus realm anyway. And they say there's about 6 hours of charge on a battery. We used this for a couple of hours yesterday in the factory. The guys, the 4 technicians that used it and myself, we really liked that it was kind of 680 grams in weight. You didn't feel that it was too heavy. Obviously when you're pointing this at anything, it's usually at arm's length, so you've got that hanging off the end of your arm. So let me just show you some of these physical buttons here, and it does have a touch screen as well, so we can go to the menu here. Let's look at the settings, so press that. Temperature range, I've got it set, obviously a low temperature range, up to 150. I've got emissivity of 0.95, reflective temperature 25. We're looking at the middle distance, so if we press that, 1 to 3 meters. Humidity of 50%, and then we've got some alarm settings we can set down there, or we can do our span of our temperature and the level of our temperature manually in here. Connections, I've actually used this on hotspot, so what you do is you connect this hotspot here, and then you can download images from the file. I haven't used the Bluetooth, I haven't used the wireless function on it. Display settings in here, so I've got everything turned on, so we will see the brand logo, the parameters, time, date and status. Got some capture settings here, and this is about the visual image, so we can have, I've got it 8 megapixel, you can have it down to 2 if you want. You can have the save visual image off if you're not interested in that. And device settings, obviously you can set the units to imperial, Fahrenheit, Celsius for temperature, or you can have it feet or meters. I've got obviously meters for me. Screen brightness you can set. So the device settings are all pretty straightforward. We return here by this button, this return button, and then we can see here we can cursor along. Next one is album, so that's what we've already done. So we can look at the album and maybe see some images that captured yesterday. So let's take a look at that first image there. So this was a hot oil pump. You can see that it was picking up that center position there, P1, 145.8 degrees C yesterday at midday. So you can see the kind of resolution. It's not the best resolution in the world, but I think it's good enough. The main thing that me personally, I think is that the focal field of view is compromised because it's too tight. If we go along to image mode, we've got it on Fusion. Because Fusion mixes the thermal with the visual to give us an outline, you can have parallax. So if we want, depending on what distance we are away, we can change that parallax so that the two images converge perfectly. I like Fusion because it gives me, I can see machine labels and things like that. Picture in picture is also a favourite of mine because I can then concentrate on just say a motor or a bearing I'm interested in this picture. So with picture in picture you will see the thermal image in the middle there. The next one along is measurement. So we can put in, we can clear it here at the end. We can put in a measurement point there. We can put in a spot there. We can put in a line, a circle, or a rectangle. Rectangle is really good. Gives you an average temperature of the rectangle. So you can put a rectangle around a motor. We're going to put one of these on. So we can put hot spot, cold spot, or center. Let's put center on. I'll put center on. And let's also put hot spot on. Let's come back. And now we've got, and you can see there, we've got a couple of cursors trying to find hot and cold spots. And in the top there, we can see the maximum and the point 1. We've got a laser pointer here. I don't know if you're able to see this. So we've got a laser pointer. So that's good if you're looking in a panel and you actually want to see the connection you're going to be looking at, then the laser pointer is good to have. Up the top here, if we press that, we get the lamp to come on, so the light comes on. Press that off, and then this one down the bottom here, you can see there's a kind of a plus magnifier here. We can go in here and we can start, let's put this, we can start to digitally zoom in up to 8 times. The only issue with that obviously is it's a digital zoom, so you don't get any more resolution. It's something that I don't know whether I'd ever use it because it's not going to enhance my resolution. But if I'm far away, you never know, I might want to do that. We can manually calibrate here. So yeah, let's go and look at the palettes. So palettes are the visual representation that we'll get. I'm old school and I stick with kind of rainbow and iron bow. Some people like these are the fancy different palettes as we go along. White's hot or black hot. I think there's eight palettes there. Up the top here we've got other parameters we can put in where we want to look above or below a certain level. We can obviously do this on the touchscreen. Touchscreen is quite intuitive. Here we've got auto, I've got it in auto, but you can go manual if you want, and then you can wind the mean point up or down. But you can also change the span by putting the top and bottom temperature further apart. We can OK that on there. So that's all there is to say about it really. I think the thing that impressed us yesterday was the weight, for a start. The weight, the field of view. People saying, oh, the focal length. It was the field of view that was the problem. We had to be further back than we wanted to, and you'll see. I'll put a comparison when we do the M11 against the M60. You'll see what I mean. So yeah, you can take video as well. If you hold this trigger, it will take video. So I think that's it for now. This retails, I think I've seen it for about £1,200. That's the kind of value. If you want to know more about Uptime Consultant, you can find me here, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you.